Hey everyone, this is David Pike, the Motorcity Mechanic. I've got another video for you today. This one's on a Mopar accessory. We're going to be installing a chrome mesh grille on the front of a Chrysler 300. It's going to fit the years 2011 all the way up to 2015, so check it out. Now the grille we're installing is a Mopar OEM replacement, so go ahead and expect good things out of it. It's going to fit nicely, the gaps are going to look beautiful, it's going to be made for the vehicle. Unlike some of the aftermarkets you can get, you got to watch what you get for price. You can get cheaper, but they may not fit as well. This one actually fits the same opening as the original, everything's the same fasteners, everything is spot on OEM. So definitely, if you're in the market for this, this is the one you're going to need. Now the part number is going to be 82213053. Now the average price at your local Dodge dealership, it's going to be up there a little bit. You're going to look at about $710 across the counter. Now that does not include labor. Labor, go ahead and add about another hour and a half to install it. So that's your rough price right there if you're going to go with the OEM Mopar accessory. Alright, so the first thing we need to do in order to get that grille off, we're going to take the front bumper cover off. Once we can get to the back side, we can get this chrome portion off, and then we'll get our replacement one, reattach it, and reinstall the bumper cover. But definitely bumper cover has to come off in this vehicle. So let's get started. Now the first thing we need to do is, now that we got the hood open, we need to go ahead and get the plastic fasteners loose. They get the plastic push pin style reusable fasteners. There's a total of 8 of them across the front. You got 2 here and here in the corners, and then as you go around the front there's another 6, so we'll try to get each one of those off. Now what I've got a metal trim tool that I can use to pop it. Now I get up under the edge, the top piece separates from the bottom, and I start lifting up, and this is basically what you got right here. As you push in, it mushrooms out, and the tool just basically going between the two, releases it, and then I can pull it off the car. Now like I said, we got a total of 8 of these we got to get off. Now that we got the 8 plastic fasteners off the top, we can actually start pulling forward on this corner. We'll grab that upper piece till it unsnaps, and we'll do the same thing on the driver's side as well, and then the upper portion will be free to move. Now we got to work on the lower and the fender well areas. And normally you wouldn't have to do this. The customer on this vehicle actually has already added a chrome aftermarket fender lip trim. I'm going to unscrew these, get this off. Like I said, normally during the procedure you wouldn't have to do it. Unfortunately, I've got to do this so I can get to that front bumper cover. So let me go ahead and get that out of the way. This one's just held in with some Phillips screws. I get the Phillips screws on, and then we'll be back to stock as far as removal. Now right here where the fender well liner meets the front bumper cover, we've got a total of 3 of those same similar push pin fasteners we had along the top edge of the bumper. We've got 3 of them right here, and we need to take off. 3 on the outer edge. Same basic idea. Just grab your trim stick tool, find you a place to start, work on it, and pull it out. Like I said, we got 3 along the perimeter on both sides, driver and passenger, we got to get off. Alright, so we're in the fender well area. Just so you know where we're at, we're on the driver's side. We took the 3 on this side right here. Those are those plastic fasteners we reused. When we got a total of 3 on the bottom, we got to get off as well. They're a little bit smaller in design, so they're easier to know where they go. Just use your little metal trim stick tool and start popping them off one by one. That way the fender well liner gets released from the lower air dam, because we're going to be taking the lower air dam off with the front bumper cover to make it easier. Now along the bottom edge of the front bumper cover where the air dam is, there's a splash hood under the engine, and then I call it the lower air dam. Like I said, I want this to come off with the front bumper cover. Now we've got a total of 4 of those reusable push pin fasteners. We've got 3 along the front edge in little recessed cavities. Take them off one by one. Now there's 1 on the driver's side right here. There's not 1 on the passenger side. So just take the 1 off the driver's side, and that's a total of 4 of these along the bottom edge. Now these got the smaller heads, much like the 3 along the lower edge of the fender well liner, so you know where they go. The larger heads will be up and down on the fender well liner and the bumper cover. The 3 along the fender well liner on the inside, going left to right or horizontal, will be smaller head, just like these were. Now we got to move on to taking these 2 10mm bolts off. They attach the front air dam to the cross member. We'll take those off next. So it's 2 10mm. Alright, so now the air dam's loose on the bottom, it's loose on the top. Now we just got to double check the sides and see what we got behind that fender well liner, keeping that bumper attached. Now that all the plastic fasteners are released, now we work on getting the fender well liner from the bumper cover, because we do have a fastener behind it. Now, it sits in kind of a track. The front bumper cover sits in a little track that's on the fender well liner, because there's like a U channel back here. So we got to do a combination of kind of prying the fender well liner back and the bumper cover out and try to get it loose just like this. And what I do is I work my way up and we get closer up to the upper edge. Alright, so we're still separating it, taking care not to scratch or damage the paint. Now, once we get up in here, right here is a 10 millimeter we got to take off. And we got to do it on both sides to get that 10 millimeter out of there. Now the 10 millimeters out, the portion that the 10 millimeter went in the threads is actually more of a stud that sticks out that the bumper cover has to go over. So when you get ready to pull it off, because right now we have no more fasteners holding in place, we've got to clear that. So I've got to pull up and over it to clear that little stud that sticks up. So let's do that on both sides and we get ready to unsnap everything. So I'll go ahead and grab that corner. Now it's going to snap in different places around here. It has a little portion that kind of keeps the bumper cover in line. So we'll grab one corner. One thing to note, this does not have fog lights, so I should have no electrical connectors on the back of this bumper cover. So when I go to take it off, that should be all there is. If you had fog lights, or if you had avoidance sensors on the front, or proximity sensors, you would have another connector you would have to disconnect. But unfortunately on this one, I do not. This is just a bumper cover. So I'm going to grab the corner. Here we go.